What up? 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 It's been a minute since I went live, but I was just sitting here and I was just kind of reminiscing um about like where I come from because where you going? Yeah, but I was finna say something that was probably gonna fucking blow heads, but I forgot. All I'm gonna do is I'm gonna stop and I'm gonna finish talking about what I was talking about. So anyway, damn. As soon as I cut this camera on, I get a little crazy. I get a little shy, but it's all good. It's all good neighborhood. I'm just working on music. I'm sitting back and I'm basically saying, damn, since I was a little kid, I've been working on music. Like, like that's always been something ever since I was exposed to music. Yeah, that was it. Like, and music have a way of taking me to like it takes me like it puts me in a place like that I remember, especially like if I hear older songs, like, and that's why people connect with older songs, generation above them music, because they was kids, we was growing up off things, and it brought a lot of different memories, you feel me, that we cherish and hold dear to us. Because as time progressed, how you got these memories, and unfortunately you're not thinking about the memories all day, I mean, some people are, but for the most part you're not, you're living your life, you're in the present, or you're supposed to be in the present. But if a song come on, you be like, what? It happened to me. um it's a song called In My Project. Jack, Jack, hey, in my project. Jack, Jack, hey, in my project, me, don't come to my project. Everybody in my project, me, don't come to my project. If you ain't in my project, Jack, Jack, listen, one day I'm gonna go crazy, I'll sample that shit and go, wow. And I was watching The Sopranos, and it came on like one of the guys was listening to it. Shout out Sopranos. It was a lot of hip hop influence. It was a lot of R&B and hip hop influence in the Sopranos. That's probably why it was so like easily accessible, or like easily black people could fuck with it more. Because I remember growing up and my folks watched The Sopranos and talked about Sopranos, like they would talk about power and things like that. Like that was big back then. So I can see why. And it's easy to follow along with it. Like music is so music has a lot to do with the vibe. Like music can make or break a vibe. Like Um, when I know I'm not in the best headspace, it's no music. Like I could go and just live my life with no music. I'm not listening to no music. Like that's how you know you stuck in your head in a loop. So as soon as I'm heavily with music, and especially new music too. Sometimes I get caught up in like the older music, because it's like you want to connect to that, like you want to hold dear to that, so you get caught up listening to songs from, and I just came across something that said that that's normal, that's not strange, that's a normal thing to literally um people peak, and like you only listen to songs that you were, like they say, up to 18 or something like that. um, so all through high school up until like 18, 19, probably somebody 20, 21, something like that. But you get stuck, and that's the type of music you fuck with, because that's that music you was coming up off of, and especially when you was a kid, of course, like you had that music. But the music, but I was listening to new music too, but I was heavily on music that I grew up on too. And then I was going deeper, like I was listening to the whole album. Back then that was a thing to sit and listen to a whole motherfucking album, like from start to finish, like. And I don't do that, like I'll hear something, and we got this handy dandy tool called Shazam. And Shazam basically it gets you the song on demand. Now that's hot. Like that's thanks God for technology, because I remember when I was get songs, or like a song would be in my head, I would want to figure out what the song is. I would have to pay attention. That's how I know I was a music head. Let me put that. I knew I was a music head when a song appear, or I hear a song and it catch me right. It first of all dazed the fuck out of me, and then I'm paying attention to the lyrics, because I'm gonna go on my computer in my room and type the lyrics out to dive deep and try to find the song. Case in point, it was this TV show growing up. It was called The Game, and in one particular scene, it was a song called "Hey Girl, you know that it's a night. Feel my vibe, girl, you know that it's on. We locked eyes 'cause the mood is right. You be mine by the end of this song." Yeah, I'm gonna sample all this shit. See, I'm getting ready to start making beats for sure. Something that I probably been should have done is start actually getting in my beat maker bag and my producer bag, like, because I love music. Like, yeah, I'm an artist. I'm an artist to the core. That's just who I am. Like, but imagine stepping out and it be like, this is my music. Like that's what I want. Like the feeling of from the time the song start, from the biggest thing on the track to the smallest little whatever. Like that's my sound. That's my music right there. And it's gonna be heavily influenced too. My beats are gonna be heavily influenced from the records I came up on, and the things that I listen to now. Like my mom, yeah, she was a hip hop head, but she listened to everything. Like one of the songs we listened to, I can't remember their names, but the pop. My mom was a pop. She loved pop. Like, so all the, yeah, can you take me to Vegas? All that, like, yeah, like, I'm not gonna write you a love song, 'cause you asked for it, 'cause you need one. You see, oh, like, yeah. So, she don't even know, but she opened our eyes. And my dad, believe it or not, yeah, he a hip hop head. My dad's like a he loves soul music. And another thing he liked is 80s soft rock. Oh, here she comes. Watch out for she chew you up. Like all that. Come on, stop it. Yeah, so my love for that, like that era too. So I know my beat's gonna be heavily influenced with, I know, okay. I know my thing. So basically, um 80s soft rock. I love 70s jazz, um, hip hop, East Coast, West Coast, funk. Um, it was an era out here. It's called jerking era. Ratchet music. We call it ratchet music. It morphed into ratchet music. For jerking music went to ratchet music because everybody just talking nasty, but the beats was so crazy it made you dance. I want people to dance to my music. Um, I want people to cry to my music. I want my music to make people smile. I want my music to make the hairs on people's arms stand up. Like that's what I want. Like that's what I'm looking for. Because that's what music does for me. Like that's what music does for me. Like music is a soundtrack of life. Like, and I'm creating my own soundtrack right now. All the music that has influenced me to who I am to today and forever. Because they're it's not nobody's gonna stop making music. Music is universal. Music is everywhere. So no matter where I go on on this earth, it's gonna be music, and I'm gonna connect with it. You know, and yeah, it's gonna be a soundtrack of my life wherever I go. So and I want people to. It's like in a way, it's like a gateway to somebody. The kind of music that they listen to is basically it's essence. It's their essence in a way. It's their vibe. Like, and I like sometimes to be surprised. Some people can surprise you. Like one of my favorite songs that I'm definitely gonna sample is what is my shit? Stop it! Stop it! Did I just grow up Celine Dion? Nigga, stop it! Celine Dion, nigga. I think it's the power of love. Nigga, hold on. Let me see. Let me see. I got an embarrassing story about that. Well, it's not embarrassing. The power of love, nigga. Yeah, I know exactly what I was talking about. Whoa. You see? Like, you see? Music is universal. It don't matter. You could be white, black, brown, pink, yellow, orange, banana, any race, any gender, anything. If the music is pumping, it's pumping. If the music is good, anybody gonna dance to it. A baby gon' that's how you know music is good. Whatever song is popping, kids respond to it. Like kids ain't listening to what somebody's saying. Gives a fuck. And even if they is, they can interpret it. They can repeat it. But later on in their life, it's gonna come to pass. But not in that moment. They don't know what that shit mean. They just like the beat. And so that's why I gotta get in my bag and be the beat now. And another thing too is I'll be getting my shit off YouTube. Shout out everybody start there, right? I'll be getting my shit off YouTube. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah, I like my love. Yeah, I'll be on YouTube getting my shit, and it's like in the back of my head, I'm like, yeah, let's say, yeah, I'm out here, I'm pushing this, I'm pushing it, I'm pushing my music, and I'm saying it's my music, but the beat come from another nigga, and it's another nigga that you don't know, you don't know this nigga vibe. Like, yeah, the beat is crispy, yeah, the beat is icy, but it's not yours. Like it's not mine. I'm speaking from my perspective, for me. Like, of course you gonna hop on beats with motherfuckers. It's like I want to hop on beats of people that I know, you know? Like I can actually like, fuck with that person vibe. Like, and if and I ain't gotta trip. I ain't gotta go out my way to go and find a beat to put to my, to lyrics. Nah, I could cook up something that I love, like it's coming out of me. So the process gonna be easier. I ain't gotta go find the words when the words have been probably bubbling the whole time I'm making the beat. So if that makes sense, I don't give a fuck if it do make sense or it don't. That's what I'm doing. Yeah. Anyway, what was I popping? I was just thinking about just growing up out there in Palmdale. We was well, first we started off in LA like everybody else, you know, like everybody else. I went to school called Marcus Garvey. I went to GAR and then I went to Marcus Garvey. I come from like we lived in like they was considered um we in black areas. We lived in urban areas. I lived in black communities, my predominantly of my life. So I mean, it's part of my life, and yeah. What can I say? The school is very like black militant in a way, So we learned about a lot of black history. The courses were geared to who he was, and I got an early understanding of who I was early on, you know, and where I'm from, and they was not playing, they ran it like they was your aunties and your uncles, like that's the thing about black people dealing with black people. It's more of a auntie uncle, and that's probably true for every race. So I'm just speaking from my experience. I'm not every race, I'm black. So yeah, it was like somebody like auntie and uncle, like your aunties and uncles, and they could discipline you. They get on you, and we wore a uniform. But other than that, we were very highly intelligent. I was reading. My mom said when I first before I went to that school, I couldn't read. I don't think I could write. You know, tie shoe, like like you. I was just a regular kid. And when I went to that school, mom said I went for as soon as I started, just a little bit. She said I came home and it was like, I need to learn to read. They was so far ahead of me, for me to be like, okay. And I remember being that young, like, um, buckling down, reading. What was I doing? It was a book called Dick and it was Dick and Jane books, right? And it was, basically like da 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 da. And that's crazy. That's when I first read those books, I was actually like that was the first time a book I could morph myself inside the book and play it in my head. I think that's where my love of reading, just reading. I have like a keen love of reading. Like, I feel like all the magic is in the books. It's what's in front of you. It's something that you have to actually go and look for and put a little work in, which is sitting back and reading it and let the book do the rest. You just have to, read, and it's gonna enlighten your mind. And it's not loud. A book is not loud. A book is not distracting. It's not a million other things going on with the book. It's not the sound of somebody's voice. It's not anything. It's like almost like you reading a secret, and it's only you and whoever else read that book. And we live in an era where that ain't popping like that. Everything you can listen to an audio book, if anything, and you really just listening while you're doing other things. But with a book, you actually have to simmer down and comprehend what's going on, you know. And and when we read to ourselves, a lot of us, because I know some people and me sometimes I read out loud, but we read in our head, and the way our brains work, it's gonna play out no matter what. It's words going in, and your brain is going to bring up images that are similar to those words, kind of match it, and yeah, that's when that's the real imagery. And for your writing too, so my writing actually got a little better from reading. Like when you writing, well, when you're reading, you're taking in words, and you're taking in words that you don't usually use on a daily basis. When I'm out and about, um I speak in a certain dialect. I speak black. Whatever that means. I don't think that black is not something that you speak. I speak in slang. So it's like in dialect, in a different kind of dialect. That so my people can understand what I'm saying. And yeah, I speak so the people around me, we can all communicate, and we all communicate in a certain dialect. So yeah, and So not a lot of those words that I'm getting in my book is being spoken, on an everyday basis. So yeah, I'm enlightening my head, enlightening my mind. Anyway, so I went to the school, and after that, we was a part of we lived. The last place we lived was like West Adams area, and from there we was off to Palmdale, California. We was off to the Dale. Yeah. And yeah, we moved to the 20s. So if anybody is familiar with Palmdale, it's letters and it's numbers. So it's a letters and numbers, and it's all going up and going down. So basically, you start all the way from the back to the front, and then going this way, east and west is numbers. Going north and south is the letters. So we stayed off Avenue S. We stayed off 25th Street East in these apartments called the Pavilions, the Longhorn Pavilions, and Pavils. I stayed in the front. I stayed in the first. It was a two complex apartment, huge, stretch out. Probably had two full blocks. Yeah, two full blocks of pavilions, and it was mountains. It was everything you could think of. Three pools, three pools. Yeah, because we lived in one. It was one in the middle. In the middle is where everybody. It was a big playground. It was playgrounds all throughout. It was probably like three playgrounds, and it used to be this major one where it used to be a basketball court over there too, and it was kind of like the center hub. And the pavilions was a hub for Palmdale. Period. Like Lancaster. Well, shit, Lancaster had their own shit, but for Palmdale, especially for that east side, like if you was anybody, you would bail through there. You knew somebody lived there. You knew, and there was a lot of family out there too. Not my family. My family predominantly stayed in Los Angeles, so it was just us. Like me, my brother, my mom, and my dad. It was just us. But other people, they whole families, we was all a part of that great migration up, and from a lot of people. It was people coming from the poorest cities, and Los Angeles and the Valley. So that's around a time where I'm pretty sure that was around a time where it was Bush in office. All right, it was Bush in office, and it wasn't. It was his first term, so I think it was. They were shutting down in projects and all that shit. People was getting money, and he was moving them out to Palmdale. They was building those KB homes up, where all the homes look the same. From, let's say, like 47. So like the 40s and up, like that's where you get those new model homes. The 50s, it was older homes plus the mix, and then the further back you go, it was the newer homes. But I'm pretty sure all them people was Section 8. And it was probably the first time motherfuckers was having houses, and Palmdale became heavily it was heavily influenced by, it was sprinkled in though. It was heavily influenced by gang culture, but it was safer. Because people wasn't pressing no line, but everybody was from everywhere though. Like everybody claimed every part of LA, and because everybody was coming from different parts of Los Angeles plus the Valley. Like people was from everywhere, and plus the ones who actually from Palmdale. Like it's people are actually from born and raised in Palmdale, California, and they probably got a little overshadowed by the people that was new coming in. But you can always tell who was from, you know, because the motherfuckers who was coming from LA wouldn't let you forget it. We was coming from LA. Um, so it was like to a point people call LA the city. you know, like it was a town that we lived in. It's like almost like moving to the country in a way, you know. It got its own rules, you know. It got its own rules. It's its own ball games. I could say we was cut off from LA. We did everything everybody did from LA because we was all, you know, it was on our drive, but it was its own rules. You know, LA didn't dictate what was happening in Palmdale. So, yeah, and you ain't had nothing better to do but to hang out with friends. Um, Man, we walked, we played it like as kids, and we played, you know. So we ain't worried about no gangs, no nothing like that, you know. Like we're just like a fresh start in a way, and that's where it started. How it started off, like it was like everybody was kind of like shell shocked in a way because coming from where I came from, we wasn't hopping on those school buses in the morning, you know. Even the weather was different up there. If the cold was cold, the hot was hot as hell. It was like it was different. It was trees everywhere, you know. It was trees plus it was desert. Um and yeah, so it was on, you know. Man, this is somewhere new for me to explore, you know, something like you remind me of those Dick and Jane books that I first started reading, that which is crazy. And over time it started morphing into some other shit, you know. Um it couldn't be no motherfucking punk, you know. It just is what it is out there, you know. Because as people was getting older, they was getting more influence, you know. And yeah. So it was on from there. And yeah, I always my dad bought me a he bought me a MacBook. Dang, yeah, I was spoiled. My dad bought me a MacBook. I was probably like 16. Yeah, like 16, probably 15. 15, 16. It was a wrap from there, like 15. And I was just going crazy. I was being creative. And that's one thing about me too, you know, like yeah, I'm gonna get into some my own shit because I'm actually curious. And what they used to say when I was a kid, she bad, re bad. You know, them little bad kids, it was just inquisitive. So I was always gonna find some shit to get into. But when I got that MacBook, before the MacBook, I had a computer and I had Fruity Loops and I only had a demo of Fruity Loops. You know, the demo version of Fruity Loops. I love it. You know, I love my computer. I love the internet. Like I remember the time in the internet before like your parents and shit used to be on the internet like that. You know, like parents used to be like, "What is this?" Asking you, "What is this? How you work this? How you do this? How you do?" I remember that because that wasn't they shit. You know, my dad always had a computer though. You know, like I can say my dad for the most part, like he always been up on game, like you know. But my mom, nah, like um, she was just getting into having cell phones and shit, you know. And my mom been having the same number from when she first got her cell phone back, like probably 20 years ago. She is crazy, same cell phone number. And yeah, my stepdad too. Yeah, my dad. So yeah, yeah. But yeah, um, I just loved it. And my stepdad, he was in the music industry. So he was like a manager back then. He was a game manager when the games first, you know, like managers when a documentary around documentary time and shit, you know, like. And I remember being a kid, just being in it, you know, going to dinners every weekend. You know, every weekend we in LA, we're gonna go eat at a fancy restaurant. We're gonna go, you know, like I just love hitting. That was oh man, that's like leaving Palmdale, being up there all week, right? And people ain't going, they ain't leaving Palmdale like that. Not everybody, you know, like not everybody. Some people was, But every weekend we was down in the city tearing it up. And I remember around that time it was Wilshire, getting off on Wilshire. We was Sunset, Melrose, like we was in those areas. Like we wasn't in the hood like that, like going back to visit the hood like that, like I will go see my grandmother and shit like that. But for the most part, nah, we was doing it up. Like, when my stepdad came into my life, he had been in my life for a long time. And then he had came back into our life, right? Like, and once he came back into our life, everything changed. Like a life you thought you knew, like, was totally different. But we were still living we were still living in Palmdale. So how you gonna relate to somebody when you just was down there and your dad, like y'all going to record labels, y'all doing this, y'all in the studio, y'all on sets, video sets, y'all hanging out with the game, having dinner, y'all doing this, y'all doing that. How you gonna go back and relate to the kids, It's like it was just a disconnect in relation, because you still a kid, and you still in that area, like you still gotta be outside with these motherfuckers. You still gotta parlay with them because you with them Monday through Friday. And so I think I tried to just make myself blend in where I was, like because I already stood out, and it was causing a little troubles, for me to have what I have. I feel like the other kids were jealous, and yeah, I felt like shit. Yeah, it's jealous 'cause they ain't had shit for real, A lot of them they did, and they was coming from real fucked up backgrounds, like, and we was blessed, So, and I don't think my mom or my stepdad knew like the extent of what was happening. They just wanted to give us a better life than they had, But shit, it was man, trying to navigate that shit, and being in that town, it was different. So I tried to put as much little Palmdale dust on me as possible, but that didn't stop me from fucking soaring and becoming so popular. It probably added to it, So, and I don't think a lot of people knew. Man, I probably did. I probably told a couple people, you're a kid, you can't hold it to yourself. You're doing some shit, So yeah, probably added to it. And plus, I told you where I stayed at. I stayed in the hub, nigga, in the dubs. Nigga. If we knew back then, um, we knew now, nigga. We could have coined that shit. We could have because they got they own different um like the 50s got theirs now. 33rd, so the 30s they got theirs. And we could have been the 20s. It was 25th, man. Whoo, yeah. But I stayed in the older part. So it was like I stayed around a lot of people who was from Palmdale. A lot of those people that lived over there where I stayed, they was originally from Palmdale. Of course you're gonna have your ones who from everywhere else. But for the most part, people that I lived around. So I got a lot of I met a lot of cool ass motherfuckers, like a lot of cool people that I shout out to this day. Like I got love for them. Like a lot of people I can say fuck you to, but they know who they is. But for the most part, I got a lot of love for the people that I came up with, because we got to actually be kids together. And yeah, we got to be children, children of the corn together. We ain't give a fuck. We was in the desert, the kids of the desert. I got this one song called "Living in the Desert." No, living in the soul of the desert. Yeah, because that was the soul. We lived in the soul of the desert. I lived in the soul of the desert. That was the soul, nigga. Palmdale, you know. And yeah, but I stayed tapped in, to LA. And when Jerkin came around, I was already tapped in on MySpace, like the music. And that shit was like, once that shit came around, that shit was so like, it was kids that wasn't that much older than me, like actually making their own beats, producing music, rapping, saying this crazy ass shit on a beat, going nuts, and then people are dancing, making up these dances to it. And it was a vibe. Like, it was a vibe. It was an era for sure. Like, everybody was vintage. Everybody went back to the you cosplay. What was that shit called? Cosplay, where you we dressed in 80s clothes and 90s clothes, and we danced, like, we was listening to this. That was the beginning era of ratchet music. Like, they talking about smoking weed, get drunk, fucking pump pills. Yep. And then and jerking. Fuck out of here. And house parties, you feel me? And that was an era too, man. Like, once jerking kind of fizzled out, cause I was young when jerking fizzled. So by the time I came around, I was outside. It was ratchet music era. So YG stayed around, heavily influenced YG, Tyga, Joe Moses. Who else, man? Ty Dolla Sign again. DJ Mustard. What, Kendrick was out, but Kendrick, we would go. Nipsey, the marathon was just out. Yeah. What was that? Section 80. I think for Kendrick was Section 80, the marathon. All those ratchet music. So that's my outside era. Like, when I listen to songs like that, shit just takes me to like, whoo, like just being out in the in Palmdale, like in my area, like being in my area, being big, just mobbing, yeah, um, yeah, that was crazy, seeing what's up with Palmdale, and I was getting out, I was getting beyond the pavilions, me and my peoples, my brothers, shit, we stayed in our area. That was one thing too. Like, we stayed in our bubble. Like, we didn't go like everywhere like everybody else did. Or I don't know if they did too. Like, but anybody who came up in the pavilions, we all stayed in our bubble. Like, pavilions stayed with the pavilions, and everybody came to us. We didn't have to go out. Like, you gonna meet somebody from who live in the 30s. You're gonna meet somebody who live in the 40s, the 50s, 60s, all the way up Lancaster, West Side. Like, you gonna meet somebody because somebody got a homie, somewhere, something. So yeah, I met a lot of people, just staying in my area. But around that time, I was getting out, like, I'm like, okay, what's up? This high school time. And I didn't go to the school that was, yeah, this is what kind of exposed me to other areas and shit. Cause my freshman, I didn't go to Palmdale High School. That was 10 block walk down the block. Now, I went to school in like, what was that school? Like 65th or 70th? It's called P Night, nigga. When I got to P Night, that's when I'm meeting kids from. I knew the kids, like the kids who was a grade older than me. We all went to middle school together, so I knew them. Like, I knew them majority, but I didn't know the other kids. So I'm meeting the other kids, and it's her. Like, I mean, it's fresh faces, but this is no. We was still jerking. Like, it was a good time. Like, um, yeah, shit was fun. Like, again, we had a good time, and I used to have this. What was it? It was this phone, and one of my homies, um, he traded a memory card. He like, my memory card too full. Let's trade. And I had just got that phone, so my memory card was blank. So we traded. I popped that shit in. It was all music on that motherfucker. So, man, it was all the music. Like, it was jerky music. It was I think that was the first time I heard Amy Winehouse. He walks away, the sun goes down. He takes a day, but I'm gone. And in your way, these blue shades, my tears drown out. Yeah, that was the first time I heard that shit. And just that all that just reminded me of that time, man. And then this one particular song by YG, and it was a group called the Vixens and DJ Mustard, and it was called Head on the Highway. I'm rolling Lexuses and Benzes the flyway with the flyest bitch getting head on the highway, head on the highway, head on the highway. Excuse me. Fun. Like, man, when I think about growing up, I think about fun. I think about it being a good time. Yeah, it had its times too, but who didn't? Majority of the time we was living. We was just having fun. We just wanted to have fun. Kids just want to have fun. And back then we was the only things on the street, like kids. Our parents wasn't from Palmdale. Majority of us. So, for them to run their errands and do that shit and go see their peoples and all that shit, they had to drive down to LA. So who they leave up? Who they leave at home? They kids. And it was like, and man, it was all I can remember growing up. It was house parties, 5, 6 house parties in one night. Like it was crazy fun. Like everybody following behind each other, 20 cars deep, just going to the next party. It was so fun. Like, it was so fun, man. Like, it was fun. And yeah, so I love that era. So I would make music like dedicated to that time, that fun time, like, and I dedicate a time where I wanted to be from man, Nipsey Hussle, when I got exposed to Nipsey Hussle, that was so crazy. That was such a like a pivotal time in my life when I knew I was gonna be a boss. That was my cultivation of boss. I'm gonna be a boss. Like I knew I was gonna be a boss before, but now I'm gonna be a boss. I'm gonna be a music boss. I'm gonna do, I'm a boss, and so and I was hanging out with this chick and this dude that I knew, and she ended up she had went through some super fucking traumatic, probably like a couple months before the marathon came out, or before we was hanging out, so we just happened to all live in the same place, and we just, like that's how random the pavilions is. You outside one day, you gonna run into somebody, y'all kicking it now, and then you run into somebody else now, y'all kicking it, and y'all probably ain't never kicked it before, but now y'all realize how cool y'all was. So that's how cool that place was. And, we kicking it, and I remember she put us on to Nipsey, and it was probably Bullets Ain't Got No Name. And it was right before the marathon came out, and she was putting us on to Nipsey Hussle. Like she like this is what I listened to. We talked about her situation a little bit, and I knew the homie was going through some shit too. Like the homie was, like his living situation wasn't all the way square straight too, But we was just some young niggas, like like yeah, we was just some young niggas, like who was not doing what everybody else was doing around us, Like I was doing this music shit. I was getting into it, and she had been through what she been through, and the homie he was just along for the ride, So I started. I was going. Still, my mom had a Toyota Camry. It was black, and I was still that motherfucker. Take the keys, nigga. Go on little joyrides and shit. So I remember taking the car whenever I could. Whenever I could, my mom was paying attention or whatever, I'd take the kids, back away. Go find them. Go find the homies. They hop in the car, or we'll all be kicking it, and I'll tell them, I'm finna go get my mama. I'm finna go get the car. So I get the car, and we'll play the marathon. And just I'll just be driving, nigga, going fast, just whipping, like, like just feeling free, like feeling like somebody understand, like. And from then, you couldn't tell me nothing, nigga. I want to be from neighborhood. But shit, I want to be from neighborhood because of Nipsey Hussle, NH, nigga, Nipsey Hussle, nigga, like I ain't know nothing too much into it, into further than that. But Nipsey Hussle put that in me, like I want to be from if a nigga like this is like this, and I relate this much to what he talking about, like yeah, I'm with you, and yeah, and that was fun. That was an era too. We was just having errors. It was just like back to back errors. Like shit was fun. But now where I'm headed is gonna be even funner. Where I'm headed is to big leagues. I'm headed to the big leagues. I'm gonna play the little leagues for a while now. I'm headed to the big leagues. And I'm gonna experience things that I've never experienced, and things that I knew I was gonna experience. That's where I'm headed. Don't talk about never. And I think about this shit I've been thinking about it since that time. Those times that I was just digressing on. Man, that's been a little minute, So I pray um, I pray for myself. I pray that I continue to be level headed through this journey, and I have as much fun as possible. Every day I want to have fun. Every day I want to laugh. And every day I want to smile. Even if I frown in the same day, get mad the same day, get disappointed the same day, or, you know, like can't take it in the same day. I'm gonna find something to be happy about because I dreamed of moments like this, you know? Like even where I'm at right now, like I've dreamed of probably 3 years ago, I was dreaming about being here. I write my journal and I used to tear out too, like throw it out. Excuse me. That's a good tactic to it's a good tactic that I learned from a therapist to rip that shit up and throw it out. But nah, I ain't trying to do all that shit. I'm really just I read back and bruh, I was fucked up. Like in those moments, I just wanted to just be exactly where I was. I mean, exactly where I am right now in certain moments. And so, I don't want to ever forget where I come from, but I knew that's not where I was staying. I knew all that was temporary. I always knew it was temporary. Like I always knew it was gonna be temporary. Even this temporary. You know. All right. And once I get to where I'm going, I know it. Where I think I'm gonna go, and then it's a steps above where I could even imagine. I know it's even higher. Like I know it is. Um, I want to be free. I want to be free. And not bad free, good free. I have free will to do whatever I please, and I got control over how I think and where I go and what I do. Yeah, total freedom, and just going around this world and opening myself up, to all these people. I love people, as much as people disappointed me, and I met a lot of other side people too. I know so many other people out here in this world too that I can't wait to meet and experience because I'm a people. I watch people. I'm a people watcher. That's one of my favorite pastimes to just watch people, you know. I know people watch me, but I love watching people too, you know. Like I think about where did this person come from? So, you know, like I'm curious too, you know. So yeah. Wow. I had so many errors, man. And I'm only 28. And I done had 28 errors. And I have so many errors to go. You know, so many errors to go because I'm keeping myself healthy and I'm keeping my mind clear, my body clear. Um, I'm reading this book. Well, I just finished the first chapter. It's called Medical Medium Cleanse to Heal by Anthony William. Anthony William, right? And so far, the man's is talking about everything everybody's telling you is a lie when it comes to food. That's all the first chapter is basically telling me. Ain't no such thing as no vegan. Ain't no such thing as no keto. Ain't no such thing as no high protein. Ain't no such thing as protein. Ain't no such thing as none of that shit is the healthiest. Ain't no such thing as a straight meat. Ain't no such thing as a plant. But it's no such thing as nothing that these big companies or these people is pushing. It's no such thing. It's only one way to actually eat to heal, you know, and eat detox and cleanse and eat to live. It's only one way, which I haven't got to yet, but he's just basically breaking it down in the first chapter, basically saying unlearn everything that anybody has taught you about what's good for you, what's healthy and what's not. So yeah, and with that thick ass book, right? Look, this is a textbook, bro. It's like one of these school books. And how many chapters? Let's see. Oh, look at all these. Look. So in the back of here is all the on the calls and the protocol. So this is the look at the different meals. Well, okay. Like these is different meals. Look at pear sauce, watermelon fries, melon smoothie, hot spice, apple juice, spinach soup, liver rescue salad, apple pie filling, apple cinnamon stuffed dates, gluten free banana oat breakfast cookies. I love those kind of cookies. Spaghetti squash hash browns. Wow, wow berry porridge. Wow. Raw apple banana oatmeal with blackberries. Oh wow, caramel apple soft serve. Wow, that's probably so good. Apple smoothie, berry parfait. That looks so good. Fruit cereal. My whole insides is like going crazy as I'm looking at this fresh fruit breakfast. Look at all of this. Yeah, I'm switching it up, man. You know, I've been in jujitsu. Look at my face. First of all, they say when you lose weight, the first thing that you notice is like your face. My face is so slim. I've been in jujitsu. Fuck every day. If not every day, it's 6 days a week. If not 6 days a week, I do 5 days at least, and it's literally changing everything. First off, I feel like I can breathe more. I used to be so stuff. I can hear myself breathe. I didn't know, you know, and shit, I didn't know. I had a couple moments in my life where I didn't got so big. I'm like, yo, I don't know, like I don't feel good, and I had started like lifting, but that was only doing so much, and I got to jujitsu. Talking about sweating, talking about working, fighting. You're fighting. I'm in there fighting for my fucking life, for real, in a secure manner. But I'm fighting, you know. So it's like I'm fighting against myself, and laughing. I'm smiling as I'm doing it. That's how I know I'm enjoying it. But bro, I'm sweating like crazy. Um, I'm getting more into myself. I just started, well, not just started, but I'm incorporating yoga in this too to just help with my soreness, inflammation, anything like that. 'Cause I did go to yoga school too, so I do know the importance of yoga and the importance of it to your life, to your everyday life, what it will bring to you. You know the gift that yoga does bring to you once you just surrender and get into it and do it, and it's gonna do the rest like a book. So, yeah, fresh fruit breakfast, pear sauce, okay, pitaya smoothie bowl, okay, um, melon platter, okay. Let me see. So these is all just recipes, bruh. Liver rescue juice, see, watermelon juice, fresh squeezed orange juice. My mouth is watering looking at all this green juice. Um, Cucumber apple juice. Ooh. Ooh, I know that's good. Cucumber juice. Celery juice. Lemon ginger honey water. Ooh. Lemon lime water. Ooh. Yeah, so look, they even get simplifying recipes of what to have upon awakening before breakfast, morning snack, lunch, afternoon snack, dinner, 1 hour before bed. Yeah, look, it's breaking it down in days. But you won't understand. I won't understand until I get to chapter. Wait, fuck. Okay. So yeah, I got some reading to do. Yeah. So basically, what I was just reading right now is they're saying that whatever comes up in this cleanse, because it's a cleanse that you go through, and when you change your life up. So whatever that comes up in the cleanse was gonna come up anyway, and the cleanse is gonna just help you through it. So it's basically like a army for you. It's gonna be an army for you. So whatever comes up was already gonna come up. Cleanse is just bringing it up to help it pass. So just have to get ready for it and not be scared and be thankful that I'm being exposed to things like this. Yeah. Yeah. So you know what? I am gonna retire and probably get in the shower. Tell me probably yes, I'm gonna get in the shower and wind down for bed. So hopefully I'll talk to you guys soon. I would like to chop it back up tomorrow, get back on it tomorrow. So yeah, until next time.